So not minding giving support to white's d pawn, he's gaining some pressure on the light squares. So queen c7, eyeing f4, and now a very dynamic move, knight h5. So eyeing again that f4 square as well, as potentially taking on g3. So now knight g5. So the game enters a very interesting continuation after g6. Knight h3. So the knight's stumbling around, protecting at f4 square. So knight f3 would have allowed knight f4, and white would hate to lose his light square bishop. And the light square has already been a bit weakened. So Anand avoids that, but he's got this knight to reroute now as a challenge. So after e5 he just plays f3, not minding going into that territory of losing his queen for the two rooks, which is now entered. And now we have some coordination issues and other tactical issues, like white's a pawn emerging very soon. So bishop d5, queen b4, with some nice tactical ideas now, hitting d4 in some variations. After knight d7, again reintroducing this idea of knight e5 and queen d4 in some lines. So not minding temporary bishop sacrifice. So a3 trying to decoy the queen away from d4, but we go now into this continuation with knight e5. So this curious imbalance is very exciting. White losing the a pawn to try and get more coordination going. And now Anand fighting to open up lines for his rooks and coordinate his three pieces here. But the a pawns provide a ticking time bomb for white's activities. They have a time limit attached to them. So knight d4. And now we have here a key move maybe which was missed. So knight d5, which technically maybe is a lot better than knight c4. In the knight f3 lines, I think white would end up on top. Actually, at the risk of boring you, let's just quickly add something here. So knight d5, let's have a look at knight f3. How knight d5 is more favourable than knight being on c4 for this knight takes f3 idea. So say queen b1, there's rook e5. I think I mentioned, I had a look at this. So rook e5, and the rooks are really coordinating well now with the knight. So this would be maybe all over for black soon. The checks might be ineffective here. So say check here, and now finally if white gets his wicked way, the coordination continues, and now we have like knight c7 just easily winning. So Anand missed knight d5 in the critical position, which would have led to much better coordination of his two rooks and knight. But he was under time pressure, so knight f3. And this was a very cunning idea really from Topalov, just to sack the knight temporarily, giving two rooks and knight versus queen, but knowing that white's tied down a bit now to d4, d2, that d2 square, so it's enough for him to regain his knight and simplify a bit further down where white's king is just too exposed. So very exciting stuff really. Perpetual check now, securing the draw. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.